Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Today, it'll be the trailer analysis for episode 7 of Disventure Camp All-Stars. Before this begins, do note the following: Odd Nation Cartoons is an ownership of the background footage, not me. This is also just my personal analysis, opinions on the scenes. If you have different ones, that is completely fine. As well, in my videos I do sections for simplicity and organization. The sections for this video are trailer analysis, who's going next, conclusion. Without further delays, let's get this video started.
Sure, princess, whatever floats your boat.
For this trailer analysis, I'll go in a team order for morning events. The order I am doing for this is Yellow Team, Magenta Team, Cyan Team, Production. For Yellow Team, Rhea is sunbathing while Alec eating his breakfast, with Gret asking where Yul is likely. The next scene reveals this, as he has flowers and is extremely annoyed. Since he has the earpiece he had in the last episode, and since we all know Yul actually giving flowers to Gret out of the kindness of his heart is impossible at this point, Emily is 1000% forcing him to do this. With him extremely annoyed to continue to pretend to like Gret, going to Magenta Team, Ellie and Ashley are becoming even closer friends, with Ellie having some extra confidence. I adore this friendship and I can't wait to see more come the episode. The next scene shows Jake running to Fiora, likely needing her help. Since we know Jake and Tom talk later in the episode and Ashley told Jake he should probably talk to him, I'm guessing Jake is asking Fiora to help him find the other campus to go find Tom, since Ashley and Ellie are off somewhere. Annoyed, Fiora only agrees to see the drama, try to become further on their good side so she can somehow survive being on this team, which leads to Jake finding Tom, and oh dear, this conversation will not end well. First off, them talking and communicating for once is a true shock, and secondly, Jake doesn't look too happy. He's likely yelling about everything that's been going on, not really a specific focus, with the teary Tom eyes coming because he knows some of it's true and just hurt. I think I'm more intrigued to see how Tom will handle this communication because it looks and feels like this ends with him broken. Jake has a confessional afterwards with his teary eyes coming out, and the only part we get to see him say here is no. Maybe he's disappointed in Tom, that the communication didn't work, or that his expectations were different than what actually occurred. Honestly, I feel bad for both of them. I do want them to have the closure they need from this. Anyway, Fiora's walking back with Jake and is likely like, "I told you so," or something along those lines, with Jake not wanting to deal with it. For Cyan, we got basically no morning scenes, but they're trying to catch another animal. This time a squirrel. Which makes me wonder, will Gabby name them, and what would she? Next, we have Tess, Aiden and Ellie all just there. They could be at the challenge, however Aiden saying Tom here makes me think he's telling them where Tom went, who's getting breakfast and things like that. Since sneaking off to camp seemed like a recurring thing this episode, here, we have Ellie and Tess. Honestly, one of my favorite season 2 friendships, so I'm excited to see more of the two. Tess likely comforts Ellie about everything, Hunter, the self-confidence things, with Ellie appreciative about it all, happy to have a good friend by her side. I don't think Ellie would cheat on Hunter, she has more morals than that. So, these two holding hands is likely fully platonic, though it would be kinda funny if everyone thought Aiden and Tom would be the Gwunkin, then it's Ellie and Tess. The next scene shows Trevor talking with Connor and the two cleaning up everything. Connor stayed for a reason. My guess is he'll be giving advice to Trevor about the situation with Derek, which Trevor will think about. As well, Connor may become friends with Trevor here. It also will likely jumpstart the subplot, whatever they are planning. Still praying it ain't a love triangle. Does this mean by the end of the episode Connor will head home with whomever is eliminated? Since he clearly stayed all night, just curious. Anyway, the next scene showcases Crystal and Derek talking, with Crystal smiling to Derek. A few things could happen here. First off, Crystal could be promoting Derek and not Trevor, hence the shock on Derek's face. Secondly, the challenge this show didn't seem too safe, and given the fact Derek encouraged Crystal to not listen to Oliver, she might be listening to him, telling Derek her challenge idea. Since the last episode, Derek asked Crystal to teach him her ways and Crystal basically agreed. She could also be doing that here. Honestly, I don't know where this dynamic could head. I do find it interesting though. I do wonder where the heck Oliver went, same with Marcus and Nina, but I'm sure we will see them eventually. Anyway, it's challenge time, and we see Yellow Team at the yellow mat, with this likely being the scene where Crystal tells the campers who went home the previous night With Yul's arm around Gret, I'm guessing giving the flowers to Gret worked wonders as she's also looking pretty happy. Rhea also rolls her eyes here, which is telling to how bad her evil side really has gotten. On Magenta, I'm guessing this is them looking at one another whilst Crystal explains the challenge. The next scene shows Ashley talking to Jake, with him looking saddened. Quite clearly, I don't think that earlier conversation went well as the fact Jake and Ashley are splitting up here doesn't help much. Ashley is Jake's #1 support right now, and he needs that. Following this, we have the Cyan team, with Gabby extremely excited as she states. With how sad Gabby looks later in the trailer, I'll take this as a huge win. Personally, LOL, I cannot take sad Gabby. Afterwards, we have people at the assigned posts for the challenge. Speaking of which, allow me to theorize what I believe the challenge will be. We see in later screenshots some people at the top of a hill with huge yarn ball things and they push them down. My guess is this is part 1 of the challenge. The second part requires the campers to get their colored yarn ball thingies into their goal, as well as blocking the other team's yarn ball thingies from getting into their goals. For example, Cyan team would block Magenta team's yarn ball thingies from making it into their goal. The goals are just big enough to fit the yarn ball thingies into them. The two teams with the highest scores win immunity. The team with the lowest score loses. For each team, here are what campers are at which part. The first part is those at the top of the hill, pushing down the yarn ball thingies. The second part is those protecting their goal and trying to get the yarn ball thingies into their personal goals depending on teams. First part, Cyan, Gabby and Tess, Magenta, Ashley and Fiora. How will Fiora even do this challenge? Yellow, you'll regret. Second part, Cyan, Ellie, Aiden, Tom, Magenta, Jake, Eli, Yellow, Alec and Rhea. With that out of the way, the next scene shows Rhea cheering. This is likely because they managed to get a yarn ball thingy into their goal. Plus, Yul got run over with the yarn ball thingy, double win. The following scene also showcases Yul angry at Rhea and the two fighting, then both become scared, likely from the yarn ball thingy coming at them at an alarming rate. The follow-up scene is a scene that is going to break me. I mean, it's an interaction between Gabby and Tess, with Tess showing concern. Knowing how Tess is catching on to what Ellie has become, she's likely trying to talk with Gabby about it, which leads to Gabby being saddened because of what she's become. As much as I'd love to believe she isn't talking about Ellie and she's sad about something else. It's time for the Gabby and Ellie angst. No, I am not prepared. Anyway, the next scene shows Tess and Ashley pushing, kicking the yarn ball thingies down the hill. Then we see Jake and Eli talking. Jake must have gotten hit with a yarn ball thingy, as his hair is now extremely messy and Eli is not looking the happiest here. She might be yelling at Jake to get his head in the game rather than be distracted by Tom and Aiden. The conversation from earlier as again. Eli's mindset is don't get distracted like last time to avoid the hate, and it would show more of her flaws, frustrations if she let it out onto someone else. Next shows Aiden and Tom working together, with Tom saying, "These two as a bestie dynamic are wholesome, so I guess it's nice to see." I just fear Jake's reaction after the conversation with Tom. Next scene shows Aiden trying to block a magenta yarn ball thingy, with him not being successful and it running him over. Even the yarn ball thingies have Aiden as an enemy. The next scene shows Eli trying to stop the cyan ball from going into a goal, and the next few scenes show a terrified Ellie, likely from the yarn ball thingies. We even see her saying. From this, we see Tom turn around, terrified as well. And the final scene too. Review shows Aiden and Ellie fighting, with Aiden and Ellie saying the following. I am curious to see what the two are fighting about. It's out of character for Aiden to just fight her about Lake out of nowhere. So I don't think it's that. The villain alliance too. He might be angry, but I don't see why he would randomly be like, how dare you be in a villain alliance? In the middle of the challenge, my guess is that it's something revolving around Ellie's challenge performance. With the final scene analyzed, the next section may commence. Who's going next?
Sure, princess. Whatever floats your boat.
Starting with yellow team, I can't see either of Yul or Gret going at this point. Yul has his Emily plot, Gret needs to ditch Yul and have herself growth arc. Alec going now feels off, plus it doesn't make too much sense in universe. As well, I am still convinced he needs to make up with Fiora. If Rhea goes without redemption right after Connor without seeing more of her complexity, I wouldn't have seen a more wasted potential of a character since Nickel. We then have the Magenta team, which here, I can only see Ashley heading home. Jake is finally growing as a person and needs to conclude. Whatever this Tom situation is, Eli is becoming a character and Fiora needs to make up with Alec. Plus once Fiora is gone, it's just the friendship is magic team. Ashley though, I don't know how she can manage to leave unless a game twist magically appears to rob her yet again. On Cyan, it's 1000% Gabby or Ellie, and that hurts me so much. If there's going to be a team swap next, it could be Ellie. I would say it's too obvious, but Connor got booted. That reasoning is thrown out the window. Ellie also has the most likelihood in-game wise, however I'm not going to cross out Gabby, she barely has any plot, and since she is figuring out Ellie partially this episode, she might stand up to her here. Tess might try to convince Tom and Aiden to vote for Gabby as to get her away from the toxicity that is Ellie, and or so Tess can help try to get the good Ellie back. Regardless, I am fully convinced it's a Gen 1 female, due to the strong generation and gender imbalances, with the possible boots analyzed. On to the final section of this video, the conclusion.
Sure, princess, whatever floats your boat.
What are your thoughts, theories on the trailer? I would love to hear in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you again on the channel. Until next time, goodbye, everybody, have a wonderful day, night.